Oh my
I
God.
had,
Welcome to Stand Today podcast. I'm Tina Marie.
and I'm Martel Roller. I had a burp right when the our pictures popped in, and it was um. Welcome to the show, everybody. So we have so much stuff to talk about on this episode. But before we get things started, let's talk about a little bit of hot topics, which is basically sending out our RIPS to some people. So first thing first, yesterday we had lost two celebrities. Dr. Ruth, if you know who Dr. Ruth is, she was like that. Damn, why not? I think about she one of those people who was old my whole life too. But anyway, she was that old lady that used to see late at night on TV talking about sex and giving advice on sex and all these other kind of things. So she had passed away yesterday. Richard Simmons passed away yesterday also. Um, they did not give a cause of death yet or whether he was battling, but he was. I thought he was 74, but he's actually 76 years old. And then today, it was learned that Shannon Doherty passed away. If you don't know who Shannon Doherty is, she is famous for playing on 90210 and also the first of Charmed. She had passed away today due to cancer. She has been battling
Breast
breast
cancer.
cancer for a long time now, and yep, she passed away today. So
There was
RIP.
also a football player that passed away as well.
Who?
It was a football player. I can't remember his
Oh
name. I want to
man,
say, yeah.
they didn't come across
He
my
played for the
timeline.
Ravens. Yeah, he played for the Ravens. He was 40 years old. They didn't say what his cause of death was either. At least in the articles that I read, I didn't see what the cause of death was.
I gotta go on the people who know everything before everything. Um,
So RIP to those people, and prayers and uplifting to their
oh,
families.
found it. Super Bowl champion Kobe Jones. He was age 40 years old.
What was his name?
Like you said, Jacoby. Oh, I'll pronounce it. Kobe Jones. He was
Yeah.
40 years old. They say he passed away peacefully in his home in New Orleans. So he might have been battling something that probably was never. But yeah, RIP to all these celebrities that we had pass away today. And well, I'm gonna say that for later. So yeah, that's been hot topics. So let's get into the reason that which was the title of this episode. Oh my goodness, let's get into our news roundup. We can talk about this man, Donald Trump. Okay, I don't know what's going on with my Facebook page. It's not showing the okay, so we're live on the podcast Facebook page, but on my personal Facebook page, we're not. It's not showing the live feed for some reason.
Hmm.
I just had to. Okay, now it's showing up. But so let's get into. We're gonna talk about Donald Trump, everybody. So if you guys are not aware, there, and I guess we can call an assassination attempt on Donald Trump at a recent rally. Uh, I do have a news clipping that's going down this story. Oh, Tina might have to take over because I think my signal gonna drop soon. But I do have a clip, a breakdown of the story for you guys. I'm going to play that clip for you.
So the FBI has officially confirmed the identity of the shooter as one Thomas Matthew Crooks, a 20-year-old who lives in the area. I have more to say about him, but before I do, I want to talk about something that Scott Jennings, an on-air personality at CNN, said yesterday.
We are 1 inch from something far more terrible tonight. Republicans I'm hearing from tonight are shocked. They're worried about the rhetoric around Donald Trump. I mean, I hate to say it, but the rhetoric around him over the last few weeks, that if he wins an election, our country will end, our democracy will end, it's the last election we'll ever have. These things have consequences.
Oh, I'm sorry, Scott. It's the Democrats who are inciting violence by pushing dangerous rhetoric about Trump? I guess I see your point. Like the other day when that big-time Democrat went on an interview and said, we're starting the second American Revolution and it will remain mainly bloodless as long as the right allows it to be. Oh, wait a minute.
That we are in the process of the second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
Yeah, no, he said the left, as long as the left allows it to be, because that's Kevin Roberts, the president of the Heritage Foundation, the ones who wrote and created Project 2025. You know, that rhetoric that we've been spreading? Oh, and then there's that Democrat who's running for governor in North Carolina who said this.
Get mad at me if you want to. Some folks need killing. It's time for somebody to say it.
Oops, no, my bad. That's Mark Robinson, the MAGA Republican running for governor of North Carolina. But maybe it's all of the Democrats who, since this incident, have been talking about how if Donald Trump had died, we'd be having a civil war, and they've been almost giddy about it.
You liberals, do you realize you were 1 inch away from an absolute bloodbath? You were 1 inch away from being slaughtered. Yes, I'm talking about civil war.
Every one of you stupid fucking liberal Democrats should be on your knees right now praying that that bullet did not do what it was intended to do. You were this close to starting a civil war that you would not win. Every one of you stupid liberal fucking Democrats should be on your knees right now praying to the Lord above, thanking him that that bullet didn't do what it was intended to. If that shot isn't proof enough that you were this close to starting a civil war that you had zero fucking chance of winning, then I don't know what is.
Oopsie number 3. And that's not even all the people I saw making videos saying 1 inch difference and we'd be at war. I can literally hear this dude's erection through his video of how excited he is at the prospect of having a reason to murder fellow Americans. Or how about 3 days ago when Alex Jones decided to host a space on Twitter titled, Will the Deep State Assassinate Biden? And he was joined by multiple other right-wing shit talkers. Scott, we aren't even the fucking shooter. Thomas Crooks was a registered Republican who was active and last voted in the 2022 midterms. His father is a registered libertarian. This is an image of Thomas pulled from a security camera in the area of the shooting after the fact. This is the t-shirt that he was wearing when he got on that roof and tried to assassinate Donald Trump. That t-shirt is merch from a popular gun YouTube channel called Demolition Ranch that is all about 2A, and you could argue is very easily right-leaning. This kid was such a fan, he ordered merch. Joe Biden spent hours yesterday trying to get a hold of Donald Trump. Finally did, because he wanted to make sure he was okay, and he wanted to tell him how disgusted he was by this. Do you think if the roles were reversed, Donald Trump would have gone out of his way to get a hold of Biden and say the same? Or would they reacted the way they did when Paul Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi's husband, was almost murdered in their home by a crazy intruder with a hammer? Would Donald Trump Jr. have been posting about his Biden getting assassinated Halloween costume he was going to be wearing? Would he have called Joe Biden to make sure he was okay, or would he have done to him what he did to grieving parents at Perry High School in Iowa after the mass shooting and told him to get over it? One side has incited violence. One side has called for civil war. One side has stormed the Capitol. One side says we're on the verge of the second American Revolution and there will be bloodshed if we don't just let it happen. And it's not the fucking Democrats.
Okay, so I guess I want to kind of unwrap that video before we kind of go into the whole event that happened yesterday. That's very disturbing. You know, hearing all those people on Al Gore's internet, exercising their freedom of speech, but just to hear some of their thought processes and all of that. And it's just crazy to hear that everybody thought it was a Democrat that did it, and it turns out to be a person the last time they voted, which was a couple of years ago, was a Republican. Um, and I guess that just the way that they're thinking, that's very disturbing. That's very disturbing.
And
And I think I spoke on the last podcast about how they're making it mandatory for young men between the ages of 18 and 26, where they automatically are going to be entered into the draft. And I have a child that's already 19, and I have another one that within the next presidential term will be in that age range as well. So that's really disturbing to me. And it makes me not feel safe in my own country.
yeah, it's
And and the RNC is coming to our city starting tomorrow, and Trump is going to be here. He put out a statement saying that he was still coming here.
yeah. I feel like these people who are considered these Republican parties, people who vote Republican, especially in the deep South. Here is my thing. You guys are idolizing somebody who don't believe in the Constitution. You idolizing somebody who basically is trying to take away your own rights. They already took away your women's rights and reproductive decisions. Um, the fact that they were so ready to say, oh, we're going to have a civil war and all these other kind of things. The fact that they were so ready before getting the facts, and I feel like a lot of people jump to conclusions before the details and the facts really came out. And I need for people to learn how to hold their horses until they get all the facts and make decisions before just saying we afraid to go out here and shoot a bunch of Democrats. The thing about it is, were you just gonna go outside and start just shooting people? Because it's almost like, how do you know somebody vote Democrat unless they tell you? Or unless they got a sign in their front yard that says they vote Democrat or they voted for this person who's of the Democratic parties. How do you absolutely know the person you walking up to and about to shoot is a Democrat?
Well, let me
Like you,
ask you this: how did they obtain that information about the young man that supposedly was the gunman? Right? I'm just gonna say allegedly was the gunman. Isn't that kind of like public knowledge how you vote? Because I get all types of text messages and phone calls when it's time for an election.
yeah. So what that information that they found is public record. Like you can go online and look up and type in somebody's name, you can see what they vote, what party they vote for.
But why is that public knowledge? Especially when like it's such a it politics is such a sticky situation,
Hmm.
and as we can see, it's becoming kind of um, dangerous and aggressive. Um, like I feel like, I mean, it should be like your political, unless you decide to tell everybody how you're voting or um, what side that you're going to. Like I feel like that should be protected information just because of how dangerous it can get.
Right. I totally 100% agree. Actually, until this happened, I didn't even know that it was public knowledge. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know that somebody could just go type and look up what you vote. And I believe like the way how like when we get the mails and the phone calls and the stuff like that, and then they know that they typically know like, oh, this is a person who vote Democrat, because I believe like the election was like, for me, I always do absentee voting. Like I always do early voting. So there's an election official who looks over my ballot and everything, and they have to scan it in or whatever to come for their vote to be counted. So like the election officials knows who's voting for who, basically. they know all that information. So I believe those are the ones who take the information and then they make it public knowledge of who you're voting for when it comes to
Yeah,
that. And
that should be a huge no-no. And you know what? For something like this, I probably won't be doing absentee ballot. I'm gonna show up at the polls.
so
I'm gonna show up at the
yeah,
polls just to see what the atmosphere looks like.
right. And then it's crazy because I still have this coworker that who just stands on, voting don't matter and my vote don't matter. Ain't nothing changed since what he say in the year 2000. Nothing has changed because he's still holding on to that whole Al Gore and Bush uh election that first and then in 2000. So he's basing his voting on that, and I'm like. And then he was like, "We don't matter because we get a Republican president for 8 years, then we get a Democrat president for 8 years, we get a Republican. It don't matter who gets in office. More likely, whoever it's whichever party shows up to go vote. So as more Republicans show up to go vote, you're going to have a Republican president. Just like when Obama went and go voted, the only reason he won by a fucking landslide was the simple fact that a lot of the African American community out and voted. Most of them don't go vote. And then I had tried to explain to them also, like, and I'll say, in the presidential election is not even the most important election. Like your governor and your local government elections is more important than presidential elections. And it's like it's hard trying to talk to somebody to me who's very ignorant and don't understand how government works. All they keep do is try to pick at things that's like bad about it. Yes, there's bad in the government, but once
They
again,
make excuses.
yeah, and once again, if you're not willing to vote to make the change happen, then why are you even complaining? Like that's what I said. People like that, I should say, people who don't vote in general, like you have no right to say anything about the country. You have no right to say anything about the state of the country if you don't go vote. You can't be mad about how things are. And then it's just like I had tried to tell him about how they're trying to appeal the Act 10 law that was signed in here in Wisconsin, which ends the right to collective bargaining. And then he's gonna say, well, voting don't matter. They would have got that bill passed anyway. Like, no, it doesn't, because we had a Republican governor at the time, and that was his to put forward. That was his thing that he wanted to make happen so that that law can get passed. Now, like I said, like I said, a lot of African Americans, or what should I say, minority people in the community, they don't go vote when it comes to governor and stuff like that. So, like I told him, if we would have had a Democratic governor in the office at that time, which was, I believe, Tom Barrett was the one running for governor at that time as under the Democratic Party, um, we would still have a union. Plain and simple. If we had a Democratic governor, if people would have voted Democratic and got a Democratic governor, we would have a union. So now, only people who have unions are people who work for the city or the state. If
Well,
you work
no,
for
when I was working for the state, that's when they took away collective bargaining.
right, but I'm saying but city and state jobs are like some of them still have unions. Like they can go and then they have a union that goes and fight for them. That's because the whoever is in charge allows that to happen. But all of the private sectors, there's no union whatsoever. Like you cannot form a union in the private sector right now because of their law being in place. But when it comes to like city jobs and state jobs, they still have a union. Not all of them do, but parts of the city and state jobs still have unions. Like teachers still have a union, police officers still have a union, fire department, they still have a union. So they have unions, but anybody who's outside of that doesn't.
Yeah, the little people.
Right. So yeah, so with this whole thing with Donald Trump, like I said, the young man was 20 years old, and the crazy part about it is, it was like, how was this man able to get somewhere? Like from what the video I saw, it would have been in a radius of where Secret Service would have checked, or it's in the perimeter of what would have been checked, in case of a situation like that, because from the video that I saw where the guy was shooting at, there were people just walking past going to the event. Like they were on feet walking to go to the event. So it's like if they're that close, if he was that close, how Secret Service, CIA, nobody picked this man up on top of this thing with a gun. So I was telling
So
Tina,
go
go ahead.
ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I was telling you, like when I was talking to you yesterday, like I felt like this whole thing was staged to me. And then, like I said, there
Yes.
was a firefighter who was killed in the process, but it was almost like, so like you heard the gunshots go off, you see Donald Trump grab his ear, and then they say no, he ducks, and then the whole Secret Service tackle him. And it's just crazy because when you look at the videos, like why nobody is really reacting to what's going on. Like the people that
No,
was
it was
sitting
like the
behind them,
people
like
that was
everybody was just sitting
directly
there
behind.
like, huh?
Yeah, some of the people that was directly behind him did duck. A lot of them didn't. They remained standing. The
But
people
like
that
even
was
the crowd in
directly in
front of
front
him,
of Trump
it
remained
was like
standing.
nobody was reacting. And then on top of that, I was like, he wasn't that much in fear. Like to me, it felt staged because he wasn't that much in fear of his life. I felt like if that was any other president and basically assassination attempt just happened on them, they are not going to try to stand back up and stand at the podium and continue to try to speak. He want to raise it. They wouldn't let him speak, so he want to raise his fist up. He was fighting his Secret Service when they were trying to remove him off the stage to get him into the SUV, and I felt like I'm like he knew that his life wasn't in danger, in my personal opinion. So to me, that's why it felt staged to me, and I just felt like that man, because I feel like his inner circle was in on it, but as far as everybody else, they wasn't. And I felt like that young man just had to pay the sacrifice for a political gain, basically. And I feel like it's all for clicks. It's all for online clicks.
So I did a little bit more research into some of the blogs since we spoke. One person in particular, I was reading. I'm not going to say his name on air, but he had a
Gotta go meet my
diagram.
food. They're Dasher. Go ahead.
Okay, so he had a diagram that kind of showed the layout of the rally yesterday in Pennsylvania, where the stage was, and then the bleachers, and then a crowd in front of him. It also had a diagram of the rooftop where the I don't know, I've heard that they were FBI snipers. I'm not sure what um part of the government they were part of, but they were stationed kind of off. If you were Trump standing on the stage, they were standing off to like behind him, kind of towards the right because it was building there. And the building that the gunman was supposedly on was across from where the snipers were. And like the guy was saying that it looks roughly about 300 yards from where Trump would have been at. Um, and when he also uploaded a video that kind of showed the snipers that were behind Trump, they were supposed to be protecting him. You can kind of see the sniper with the gun set up or whatever laying on the roof, looking through the scope, and then he kind of like takes his head off the scope and then looks through the scope again and takes a shot. And then I also saw a viewpoint from where the people in the bleachers were standing um, behind Trump, and the Secret Service was kind of down in the pit around Trump, around the stage, and you can kind of see Secret Service getting up, having a conversation with each other, and then the gunshots kind of erupted, and everybody kind of ducked at that point, or at least the Secret Service did. Trump ducked at that point, but and Martell, what I was saying was I was looking at a diagram that this um, blogger put up and showing kind of where the stage was, where the bleachers were, where the crowd was in front of him, and the building where the snipers were on top of that. I read that they were supposed to be FBI snipers. I'm not sure what branch of the government they were part of, but kind of like if you were Trump standing on stage, it would have been kind of off to his right hand side behind him. And I think I sent you the video where you can see the sniper kind of looking through a scope, then kind of
Mm-hmm.
take his head from the scope and look back in the scope, and he taking a shot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
That's
then
right.
I was saying that I saw another point of view where it was somebody in the bleachers that was recording, and you can see kind of like the Secret Service in a pit around Trump, and you could see them before the shots went off. They got up and they were like communicating with each other, and then the shots went down, and they actually hit the ground before Trump did.
Oh
So,
wow.
um, but in that diagram, it showed the building, which was pretty much directly across from where the snipers were on the roof,
Mm-hmm.
where the gunman was supposed to have been at, and it looked like it was roughly about 300 yards away from where Trump would have been. So yeah, I do feel like that is the perimeter they should have set. And then, from what I understand, when I was reading multiple accounts of people that have been to like these rallies, um, a lot of people like they don't allow guns inside if you're not a part of like the Secret Service or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But on the outside, it's a lot of tents. People that's exercising their right to bear arms, and a lot of the states have a open carry policy or whatever. So it's people like outside walking around with guns. It's people that set up tents. Kind of like pandering for people to come over there. Let me talk to you about these firearms type of thing. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
possibility that the gunman could have kind of got close enough for that and then gotten up on that rooftop. But
But the
from
thing
what
is,
I
they
was,
said they have an airport type thing. So you know how you stand in a little machine at the airport with your hands up. So they said out at Trump rallies they have a machine like that there where they're scanning people. So it was almost like he had to go through that uh that area
right,
like to get
right, when
scanned.
you
So
if
like it
you
was
want to go if you want to go into the rally, so whatever perimeter they set for that rally, if you want to go into the rally, you have to do that. But on the outside of that perimeter,
mm-hmm,
they supposedly set up booths and stuff like that. And it's kind of like if it's an open carry state, then or municipality, then they freely walk around with their guns.
yeah,
So,
cause they said he basically held this rally at a farmer's market where farmers go to show off their goods is where they is right.
right. So then I continued to read, and it sounded like allegedly somebody saw the guy going up on the roof, told whoever they were supposed to tell, and one person, one part of the security detail did go up there, saw the gunman, and the gunman turned around and pointed the rifle at him. Supposedly it was an AR-15. They're thinking
Mm-hmm,
22 caliber because of the sound of the shots and just the amount of damage that was done, right?
mm-hmm.
Um, Pointed the rifle at him, and he came back down the ladder. And then supposedly that's kind of like when the chatter started going on. They contacted whoever they're supposed to contact, but it was too late, which would kind of explain why the shot. So we don't know who was the intended target, right? To be honest.
Right.
In all honesty, we don't know who the intended target was. There were a lot of people there, you know, and maybe he wasn't trying to shoot Trump. We don't know. Maybe it was somebody else he was aiming for. And then it's all the reports of that his ear wasn't hit with a bullet. It was hit by the glass from a teleprompter, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Donald Trump is saying that he was struck with a bullet or grazed. His ear was grazed with a bullet. But there were
I got
bullets flying because people did die, unfortunately.
I got a funny video to show later about Donald Trump and his bullet.
So I guess, unfortunately, I can't recall during a Democratic rally somebody was killed. Can you?
No, and the thing about it is, I felt like who if this young man, if this wasn't a setup by Trump, I felt like this young man was thinking like how we saw in that video earlier where they was talking about civil war and all that kind of things. Like I kind of feel like he knew, hey, if I go shoot Donald Trump, this is going to go cause a civil war. Like this is going to start a war between both sides type. It could be, it could not be. Like I said, if it turns out that Donald Trump, if it wasn't set up by his people, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. Like, it's
Yes,
some people who thinks like that.
right. So I guess I'm saying there's a lot of things that we don't know as of yet. Um, Again, my prayers out to the family of the people who actually lost people, unfortunately. And whatever, if it wasn't a setup, if it was a setup, either which way, people lost their lives. So that's not a good thing, you know.
Right.
So
And on
and
top of that, it's a firefighter too.
yeah, and I believe he had just celebrated his 50th birthday, I believe. And from the reports I was reading, he was trying to shield his wife and his daughter.
Mm, mm, mm.
And then it was an ER doctor that was there that tried to help people.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to him. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we're all still human beings, period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what's
So
one thing I don't really understand is I can't believe they only gave me this. They made me pay $17 for additional stay. Um,
that's what you can't understand.
but what was I? Oh, so this is what I don't understand. All these people that's one of these four people that's voting for Donald Trump. This man has no intentions on doing anything for you. He doesn't respect you. He doesn't even care about you. He doesn't care about your families and what your families have going on, what struggles you got going on. He's taking money away from you. So for y'all to go to these rallies and support this man and go and vote for this man, I just don't understand the logic behind that.
It would be nice for somebody that actually is a Donald Trump supporter to come on the podcast and just kind of explain the rationale behind them, like a blue collar worker. Come on the
Right.
podcast and kind of explain the rationale behind why they have voted for Trump in the past or they're going to vote for Trump in the upcoming election. So at the RNC, that's when they're supposed to announce who his running mate is. So I'm curious as to who that running mate is going to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have some speculations on different people. A lot of times, generally, is somebody that ran against him in like the preliminary um, elections, and
Which
they choose
which sometimes
that person to be.
and with sometimes where if they like I feel like if a presidential candidate don't announce a running mate like right away, that's what end up happening. It's always somebody who was running in the election at first for the Republican spot, and then they does most of.
Right.
I've seen that before where they pick one of those people.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't think it's going to be the last vice president because I feel like kind of
Mike
like
Pence
at
be
the
up
end of
there.
the term, yeah, he wasn't feeling what was going on.
And to be
Kind of
honest,
thing.
just because due to his actions and he could have had the power to overturn the election and he didn't. The fact that he did, if he ever was the one for president, I would actually give him a chance.
Yeah, because he actually stood up, but he stood up for what he thought
For
matters a little
for
bit too late.
democracy,
He did a little
right?
bit too late,
He did.
but his conscience got the better of him, which I do applaud him for that because that could have been a dangerous situation for him too. You know,
Right,
he could have not saying like losing his life, but just his career. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I haven't really heard anything about him since then. To be honest, he been kind of keeping
You're right.
quiet.
He has been under the radar.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and so I'm really curious to see who his running mate is going to be. I'm kind of leaning towards the doctor, the black doctor.
Mm-hmm. Somebody was
Um,
trying to suggest that it was going to be Nikki Haley. I don't think it's going to be her.
I don't think so. I feel like it's either going to be a black person, like a person of color, or it may be a female, just to get those votes.
But to be honest, I don't think he would actually pick a female running mate because to me, Donald Trump don't
No,
respect women.
no. So that's what I'm saying. So that's why I said the black male. I believe he was a neurosurgeon or something like that, right?
I have
You
no
know what I'm
idea.
talking about?
I know the
You know what I'm
doctor.
talking about?
I know of the doctor, but I don't know what he's like. His specialty is.
So he was running in the preliminaries.
Right.
And
I
then
know
it
that.
was, yeah, and then it was the young lady that bowed out, right? That stopped running, right? So I feel like it's probably going to be between them two, but whatever, Trump might shake it up a bit and it be somebody completely different,
Right.
you know? You never know, you know? So, and I mean, honestly, there isn't any criteria to run for vice president or to be on, running with the president as vice president
Mhm.
on a ballot outside of, I don't even know if it's the age requirement. I know for
Ooh.
the president it is. I'm not sure about the vice president.
Oh my God! I think they got some type of food.
I'm assuming it's an age requirement for the vice president because if something happened to the president, then that person becomes the next person of the United States, president of the United States, right? So
Hmm.
that's what I'm thinking. And I mean, it's a lot of things that as it was unfolding when we were watching it live on TV yesterday, that we have a lot of questions, and I hope these questions
Oh,
are answered.
the, the only thing is they have to be at least 35 years old and have to be 35 years old,
They got to
resident
be
of the
born
United
in the
States
United
for at
States.
least 14 years.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yep,
They don't
that's
have to
all.
even be a natural born citizen.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well, there you go. I mean, I just so again because this happened 2 days before the RNC is coming to our city, and I should have known, for so again that kind of makes me wonder because the way that they set such a hard perimeter around where the convention was happening here in our city, it's kind of weird that they wouldn't have a better perimeter for a rally for him. Because I mean, he's
Right.
coming here. I understand more of a hard set perimeter because it is a metropolitan area and it's more people coming because it is a convention. So I can understand the security level. I don't remember this happening for like the Democratic National Convention. I don't know,
Well, that's
but
because it
there.
got canceled, so they was all virtual. They did have a perimeter
Oh,
like the
that's
one they
what it
got
was.
now
Okay.
set up, but because
Yeah,
of COVID, it ended up being damn, what's the word I just said?
virtual.
Virtual. And then
So
speaking
I
of the
really
R,
don't. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, speaking of the RNC, I'm already sick of it already. It hasn't even
I
started
mean, I
yet.
was sick
So
of it when I was sick of it when they started setting up stuff, and it hasn't even
right,
happened.
so and this is how I ended up ordering from Benihana's. But I didn't want to drive to like another county to get food, but then the food that I wanted. But I was originally going to go down. I was originally going to go to one of my other spots downtown to go get some food, but then it was like I'm on the highway driving. 794 is completely closed, which takes you into downtown. The Kilbourne Avenue is closed going into downtown when you come around the bridge. They will be closing off the Fond du Lac exit that goes towards Pfizer Forum. They're going to be closing that off. So it's like the only way you can really get off now is when if you're going to North Avenue, if you're going north on I-43, it's if you're going north
So I
on
know
North
they
Avenue.
did have it was a shooting on the highway also. early this
No,
morning.
that
I
was
believe.
further. That was further south.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, that was further south. So I'm like, so yeah, so like all the exits that leads to downtown is basically closed right now. So you can't get off the highway at all downtown. And then if you're going north, you can if you're going south, but you can't cross over to the where like past the courthouse and going into like towards Pfizer Forum, like all that's closed off now. And so it's like, and then I was thinking like, well, a lot of the restaurants that I like to like get food from is all in the downtown area. So in order for me to get to some of those restaurants, I would have to detour. So if you're not familiar with like the Milwaukee city of Milwaukee, there's literally like a bridge that connects the north side to the south side. Basically, you got to go across the bridge somehow.
On 27th Street, 35th, like 35th
Right,
Street, the Sherman, like Lloyd Highway, going
right.
past the
So
stadium
you got to go across some bridge for at least from my side of town to cross over, like to get to
because
down.
of the
So
river.
basically, I will have to go cross over, go to the south side of town, and then maneuver my way towards state Summerfest, and I would have to enter downtown through the back way to Summerfest to get to some of those places. Like even if I was to take like Lake Drive to get like they even got portions of the beach closed down here due to the convention. So it's like I literally have to travel to the south side of town and then maneuver my way east and then come back north in order to enter the part of downtown with some of these restaurants that I like to go to at. And then on top of that, I had thought about it like, okay, you guys suspended. So normally our bars and like our bars, nightclubs and stuff here, they close at 2 a.m. So they extended the time to 4 a.m. And it's like, well, how is the residents going to enjoy going to these
It's not
bars
for the
and being out
residents.
late?
That's
And
the
that, and,
thing.
that, and
Because
that's
you
the
can't
crazy
do
part
that.
because none of us are allowed in the area where like the popular places that we go to, which is downtown, we're not allowed within
Downtown.
that zone. So it was like, are these bar
Mhm.
owners and people who are they really gonna see this big profit of money that they're saying the city is gonna see? I don't think it's gonna happen. I feel like a
I
lot of
mean, they
businesses
say
are
it's
going
supposed
to
to be
lose a lot of money this
500,000
year.
people coming to our city, which
Um,
is nuts to me.
but yeah, I feel like a
Especially
lot of those
because it's
people
in
would
an
not.
area.
They're not going to. They're not going to be staying in the city of Milwaukee. I feel because a lot of them got hotels in Chicago, and they're going to be commuting back and forth from Chicago to here because we're only about hour 40 minutes away from Chicago. So I don't
Or
see a lot of
Brookfield or something like that.
right. So
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of them people staying within the downtown area to spend money and then going out to the farther places or they driving back to Chicago. Like I don't really see that happening. And so I feel like a lot of businesses are going to lose money who's in that downtown area during this week because of the
It's a lot of
RNC.
businesses that are shutting down for the whole week, like banks and stuff like that.
Right.
Um, MATC is shutting down. They're not having classes.
That's the community college for y'all if
MATC
you don't
is the
know.
community college. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's the Milwaukee Area Technical College downtown campus. They
Right.
do have other campuses. Um, and I did see a picture of a very tall black gate going around the Pfister Hotel.
Right.
I feel like that probably would be one of
I
the
think
choices
the
for some of the
Fister is
RNC
where I think the Fister where Biden stayed at the last time he's there. I think that's like the designated hotel for like when we have high powered people.
for the politicians and stuff. Yeah, yeah. So I feel like that's
Because
probably
I think
where
because I think
most of them are going
the
to be staying.
Secret Service was I think the Secret Service was at my job today because I'm walking around and looking out the window like why is all these police cars and blacked out cars is in the ambulance
But
parking
it
lot.
but it makes sense because that's our only level 1 trauma center
Yeah, so
here, right?
anytime the president comes to town in my job, we reserve a room for him in case of emergencies for whoever the
They need
president
a
is.
whole. It should be a whole, damn near a whole floor down there,
Yeah,
but
that
they
I don't
can't
think
do
they can
that.
shuffle around. They can't shuffle around all them
I was
people
gonna
like
say they
that.
can't do that. They can't do
Mm-mm.
that. But I would think that my thoughts that somebody like that would either go on like CSAC, you know,
Mm-hmm.
kind of somewhere that's kind of tucked off, or ICU unit, even though they don't need ICU, something
Right.
that's locked and
Right.
watched.
I like the unit. Yeah. So it's, it's
So
it's 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 like I said, this whole RNC thing here is it's pissed me off a lot. I'm just gonna
And
be
I work
honest.
closer to downtown. I work closer to downtown, so I can just imagine the amount of traffic that I'm going to
And that,
be
that was
met
another
with
thing I
if
was
the
about to say.
highway is closed off.
I take the highway home on the weekends when I come home from work, and I'm like, there is not never this much traffic on the highway on the weekends here. Like it be traffic, but I don't feel like as much traffic as I've been seeing on the highway. And it's crazy because like now I'm thinking like you said, there's gonna be additional 500 people coming into our town, and they already turned a lot of our roads into single lane roads, and then like our highway system is under heavy construction right now. So on both the south side and north side of the city, there are long stretches of highway where it's just 2 lanes, where it's normally 3 to 4 lanes. So it's
Yeah,
it's I feel like it's going to be total chaos this week of the convention, and as like and then like okay, and then our like our job was already well, my job was telling like, you guys know the convention starts tomorrow. You guys need to leave your house early, plan ahead, and da da da. I felt like no matter which way you take to get to anywhere in this city, it's going to be backed up with just traffic. And then on top of that, we have baseball games that's still gonna be taking place this week. I think
pretty much.
during the RNC. So now we're gonna have American Family Field, formerly known as Miller Park. Miller Park going to be the traffic congestion. Like it was the game today, and when it like the traffic was so backed up going back towards Waukesha County, like the traffic was so backed up with just it was backed up all the way to the downtown area. That's just how
So
bad.
I feel like the traffic coming in and out of Waukesha is going to be really bad because I do feel like because Waukesha is closer to Milwaukee than Chicago, that a lot of
Yeah.
people are going to opt to stay out there. And I feel like Wisconsin is a beautiful state, regardless of where you're at, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful, like the nature of it and everything like that. Um, but we just got done with Summerfest. Um, and then we're only a couple of weeks out from State Fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's really nothing to do for the summer. We just got done with Bastille Days because our city has a lot of festivals. Um,
It's down there a festival every weekend.
yeah, they just did, I believe they just did Afrofest at Brown Deer Park. Um, so it's just going to be complete chaos. You know
And
what
they
I'm
did the one
saying?
on that one on East Locust. I don't know what it's called, but it's something they do on Locust where they close it down. Yeah,
What is
that
it
park
called?
right there in that bridge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a 1 day festival.
Mm-hmm.
Bastille Days go for the whole weekend. Um, and I just kind of feel like that me knowing our city and the happiness of our city, you know, we're not, so we're kind of territorial, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, um, so I don't really know how the visitors are going to be met, especially for something like this. And just with all of the things that have been going on in our city, I
The
just feel
thing about
like
it, I
some
get what
age
you said about
groups
the territory,
will
but
act out.
I'm like, just imagine how they're. Oh wait, oh damn it, it's my radio. Okay, I'm just saying like, so imagine like you said like how the people are going to take these people coming into the city, and it's like it's not like these are Democrats that's coming into. These are all Republicans coming into a Democratic city.
And
Where
you
this
shutting
city,
down probably,
like every election, this has been a Democratic city, a heavy Democratic city.
and you're shutting down probably the busiest portion besides the north side, right, which is adjacent to downtown, or the
Mm-hmm.
immediate south side, which is adjacent to downtown, right? Because downtown sits in between both of those, the north and the south.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like the lake and all of that stuff, like I feel like that you're kind of, what I'm saying? I feel like they're coming into our city. They don't want nobody to be around them, right? For whatever safety precautions. And it's for a whole week. It's not even for a couple of days. Like you're literally taking a chunk out of some of the hottest days of summer, right? And
Prime days.
yeah, prime days of summer. Correct, correct. You know what I'm saying? We got kids that's out of school that's going to be going to school soon, and they're not going to be able to do anything they want to do. You know, you got people that have businesses like small own or black owned businesses, small businesses that do work in the downtown area. They're not going to be able to see their regulars and so on and so forth to actually keep them open. You know,
Right.
and people will feel some type of way about that because they can't go where they want to go, and it might be kind of like some type of backlash because during that week, if I can't go where I want to go and I happen to step into another spot and I like it, I might not come back downtown. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot, and I did see a list of bars that elected to stay open. Um, and the majority of them were downtown, but they more like places
Um,
I haven't been to or nor would I go to.
mhm.
So things like on Water Street, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, I didn't see any of their names on there.
Because Water
It was
Street is
one
not,
that was
I think Water Street
right,
is considered inside that hard zone, so we're not going to be allowed on Water Street.
right, but they have the option on deciding if they were going to stay open until 4.
Right. If they open until 4, but I
So
feel like you said, like the locals won't be able to go because it's inside the hard zone. That
right, but I didn't see any of the names of those bars on the list. Like most of the bars I've seen on the list are bars that like the demographics or the places that I would go to weren't on that list.
oh, you mean
And
like the
like
younger crowd? Okay.
well, no, not even a younger
No,
crowd
not the
because
younger
I
crowd,
go
so like the
to
mixed crowd places.
yes, because I feel like downtown is a mixture of all of
Yeah.
our people, right? You
I think
know,
the only
so
place we're gonna be able to go to downtown where we can is Victor's, and I don't like going to Victor because it'd be too many people in there, just like 70s pimps.
but just so it was a bunch of bars that even if it wasn't RNC, I wouldn't go into like places inside the Fister or places inside, you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
not on a strip of Water Street, like not, those places weren't on the list. And then it was a
Wait,
lot of places that
so it's like the business inside the Grand Avenue Mall. Are they gonna be allowed to be open? Because are they even gonna be open? Because
I didn't,
it,
I
it,
didn't see anything
I,
about, and it's not called the Grand anymore. What is it called? It's called something else.
well,
Something
whatever the name
Market.
of it is,
It's like something
it's
Market.
inside
Like
the red zone. So I'm like, are they even gonna bother to open? Because none of their
I don't
employees is
know.
gonna be able to come inside the red zone to work anyway.
Not unless they went through the safety protocols to be open. Like my oldest son would his job is located inside the red zone at the downtown library, right? The Milwaukee Public Library, the downtown library, one of the biggest libraries we got in our city. And within the company he works for serves it's kind of like a Starbucks. So they do like, you know, specialty coffees, drinks, and then like certain sandwiches. You can sit, be on your laptop, complete work or whatever. It's like a cafe, right? So,
Hmm.
he's telling me that he he was told that he got to be at work, but then it's like I'm not going to allow my son to go down there, right? Because they're doing a whole lot of searching, everything, so on and so forth. And I don't have any guarantee that my son is going to get through it because the owner of the cafe hasn't given him, any special, okay, you come through at this point. This is,
Because I
I
think they
got the
supposed to be
clearance
giving
for
stuff
you
that's like that.
specifically.
Yeah, they supposed to have like something that shows like almost like a badge or something that's supposed to give them like I have the clearance to get in here because it's supposed to have like the name and everything on there, like a clearance to get through into those areas.
He
And
doesn't
then
wear a badge. He don't even have a name tag.
no, I'm talking about So the companies, I think, once they went through the proper channels of getting them the clearance, because like if you watch even during these things, like all the senators and stuff that's going to be there at the thing too, they have to also, even though we know who they are, they still have to wear a badge because they're inside that red zone. So you got to wear some marker to let them know that I'm allowed to be inside the red zone. So if you don't have anything that states that you're supposed to be inside that red zone, or you got the clearance to go
But
in
you
there,
would think
you
that
will
they
not,
would do
you
some
won't
type
enter.
of special. You would think they would do some type of special background check. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
On the
I'm
people
pretty
that be
sure.
coming in the red
Like the
zone.
business owner probably would give the names of give like the names of their employees and stuff, and then like Secret Service whatever do background checks and everything, and give the clearance for these people to go into the red zone. But if a business owner hasn't done that for their employees, they're not going to be allowed in that red zone.
So I would think that they would do the background checks. They would ask like make and model of the cars they drive, license plates, numbers, like things, all of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would think. In order to make it a lot
Well,
safer. Okay.
even if you're not traveling into the red zone, so if you're in a yellow zone outside of the red perimeter, your car is still going to get checked. They're going to
That's
check
what
your
I'm
car.
saying.
So they're saying that, so when you
So
go into that red zone, you have to stay in your car, and they're going to do like a search of your car. They're going to ask you to pop your hood, and they're going to also ask you to pop your trunk, and you cannot get out the car whatsoever. And this is just in the yellow zones.
and that's what I'm saying. So the majority of the time that he goes to work, he either takes an Uber or I drop him off at work. The majority of the time, I drop him off at work, and ain't nobody contacting me about the specifics of the make, model, and car. I will have to bring him in. Ain't nobody ask me about my name and my social, no nothing like that. You get what I'm saying? So
Because they were saying it's
that's
going to be a
that's
long line of cars trying to get into that area, and they talking about, oh, you guys would just have to work with us. So basically, if you work downtown and your business is still open and you still have to report to work, and let's say you got to be there at 9 o'clock, they basically say, hey, maybe you should show up there at 7. You get there 2 hours early
like
to
you
get to
going to
your
the
phone.
airport basically. So come 2 hours
Basically,
ahead of time.
exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. That's not cool, especially for whatever the people that work downtown are getting paid. Most of those places downtown are restaurants or bars, and they getting paid whatever wait staff gets paid because they basically live off of tips. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So it's like, is it even worth it? You know? And then just think about how if a business owner decides to just shut down for the week, how many profits they're losing. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's not really bringing anything to the city other
Mm-hmm.
than saying that we house the Republican National Convention, and it's pretty shitty. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's and I
And
have no idea how Milwaukee got vetted to be the space for the RNC.
because we paid,
That's so crazy.
we went to them. We paid. It was the city
It was
paid
a
a couple
bid.
$1 million to hold this event here. We had to
That
pay
is so
them to hold
stupid.
this event here.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get that. Like, why? It's so stupid. And it's meaningless. To me, it is because it's just showing I feel like it's showing the people that you're trying to sway to vote for the Republicans that it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're imposing on their lives off jump.
Mm-hmm. To me,
Mm-mm.
that's exactly what they're doing. Like I said, and I'm like, just to shut down the whole city the way how they doing.
The
And
whole
then
bus
that
route is
number has
being
grown.
rerouted.
It is now more than 500,000 people. That the original number was 500,000, but now they're predicting it's going to be more because we have all these like different media outlets that has now said, hey, we need a space to report on the convention. So right now, the whole entire Panther Arena floor, for those you don't know, it's the old Mecca where the Bucks originally started playing basketball at in the city of Milwaukee. The arena is still
Hmm.
there. It was called the Mecca. It's now called the Panther Arena. The
Hmm.
whole entire floor of the
I
Panther,
performed at the Mecca. I've sung and
right?
I've had piano um
Shit,
performances
but
at the Mecca.
bougie heifer. The whole
I know,
entire
right?
floor is covered in like media stuff, like radio stations and TV stations and like any type of media thing there is, because all the media play thing, all these media people who want to cover the RNC could not all fit into Fires and Forums, so they had to rent out a whole entire second arena, whole everything for this event. So we now have two arenas being used right now for this event right now, and it's just it's chaotic to me. I can't believe it.
And the amount of people that are actually coming into our city for this is the amount of people that actually live here.
Right.
So we're gonna have 1 million
Um,
people in our city,
mm-hmm.
and that is going to deplete so many resources over just, even though it's just a week. That's enough of it right there, right? It's going
Mm-hmm.
to deplete so many resources. So you got to think about gas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Food, right?
I'm paying attention tomorrow when I'm driving and see if the price of gas even goes up because of convention.
It probably will. It might not go up while they're here, but we're going to have to pay for it after they leave.
I mean, yeah, because all them gas stations gonna have to refill up on gas and stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm,
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 mm.
mm. So, because I feel like we don't covered a lot, I wanted to talk about Alec Baldwin. He did his case, his charges did get dismissed against him. It turns out that the prosecutor, or the DA, it was a DA was basically withheld evidence. So it was basically a live around a live of ammo that was supposed to be submitted into the court case, and they submitted it under a different court case or a different file when when Alec Baldwin's team, the defense, was trying to build their case or whatever, and whatever they didn't have all the information they needed. So that's how the charges ended up getting dropped against Alec Baldwin, because once again he didn't have his defense didn't have the information that they need to build the case. So the charges got dropped, and he was facing 18 months, and he was facing a manslaughter charge. But the thing is, he been saying this whole time, I am just
He
an
didn't
actor on
know.
set.
He didn't know it was a live
I
round in
didn't
there.
know it was a
Yeah.
live round. I'm just an actor on set. They put a gun in my hand and told me to fire or whatever had happened. I did what I was told to do. I'm just an actor on set. And that's all that was. Then they tried to throw in there, well, he's a producer. A producer really doesn't make that decision most of the time. If somebody is put name is on there as a producer, they just somebody who's just helped fund the movie. That's really all that means. They didn't make decisions on a lot of this stuff. They just basically came up with the funding. So somebody might come to him and be like, hey, well, we want to move to this location. It's going to cost X amount of dollars to film at this location. Do you want to, add more money into the budget for us to be able to film at that location? And he can say yes or no. Like, I don't know what else there is, how y'all can try to throw him under the bus that it's his fault or that he was responsible for this young lady's death on set. Like, I just don't see that being possible. Sorry.
Well, I'm a fan of Alec Baldwin, as far as movies are concerned, and he has been very vocal in a lot of different things, right,
Mm-hmm.
concerning politics, right. So I feel like that it was a setup.
That another setup, because he did speak
I
up.
feel like
I think during this trial or the pre-trial or whatever, and he was leaving out, and I think um was it this court case? I can't remember. Might have been where I think he had spoke about Donald Trump, and there were other actors who had spoke about Donald Trump and was receiving backlash about it.
hmm yeah. So that's why I'm like, I feel like it was a setup, and again, like I feel like when was it Bruce Lee? How did Bruce Lee die? Didn't he die on the set or no?
I think he might have died on set during a stunt.
Yeah.
I think he
Okay.
was shot.
So
I think he was shot on set
yeah,
by a live bullet.
yeah, yep. So I feel like it was just somebody trying to do him in, and unfortunately, a young lady did lose their life. And I feel like whoever was responsible for that last checks and balances of making
Mhm.
sure that it was a prop gun, so I guess I don't understand that, right? So I've never been in the movie industry. Prop guns, I would think, can't
Oh no,
actually fire real bullets.
Bruce Lee died due to a he had a swollen brain caused by an allergic reaction to a headache medication.
Really? Why I don't remember that? I felt like he
Uh,
died on.
I think it might have been his son that was shot on set.
Okay. Um,
Um,
but
shit. Why is it's making me go watch a video, y'all? I'm not about to go watch a video.
but
it's not gonna
anyway,
happen.
like I'm happy that the charges were dismissed for him. Um, because I don't take for him to be a murderer, right? Not intentionally murdering somebody. He just doesn't. It just doesn't seem like him. And then for it to happen, for him to, because it's like what
It,
it was supposed to be
it,
like
it was
unintentional
the son.
manslaughter or something like that.
It was his son that was shot and killed on set.
Okay, I knew it was somebody. I knew it was somebody. Um, but I feel like Alec Baldwin wouldn't have done. You know what I'm saying? You got so many people watching you, and
Mm-hmm.
for you to put that gun in your hand, knowingly that it was a live bullet in a gun type of thing. And again, I don't know how movie props are set up, but it's kind of crazy to me that a prop gun would be able to fire a live bullet.
So, I believe it was the Western movie. So a lot of Western movies they do use real guns, but they will put fake bullets in the guns.
But I would think that that still kind of has some type of um like some type of danger to it, right? Because you
Right.
think prop guns, like something is still flying out of that gun. It might not be a bullet. It can be lights. It can be dust. It can be whatever. But it's still, you can still probably get injured from operating a prop gun.
That's right.
So very unfortunate to the young lady. So RIP to her, and uplifting to her family, because I know this has probably been, they want some type of retribution to the
Some
lost
type of
life of their
closure for her
daughter,
death.
sister, cousin, yeah, so, but
And the thing
at the
about it,
same
I think
time,
they did have an actual police officer on set, and I believe they said it was the police officer who gave them the live rounds.
really,
Hmm.
wow, that's crazy. That's
So
crazy.
yeah.
Ooh wee.
Because we get short on time. And I got some clips I want to get into. I only want to do a quick thing on Sade Robinson, a woman who went on a date with a young man and who was
Maxwell Anderson,
ultimately
let's say his name. We're not gonna forget him.
right. Maxwell Anderson. This is the young lady right here. My computer is so delayed for some reason. This is the young lady right here, and there was a trial date set. He'll be going to trial for her death in December. They recently just released video of them arriving at this bar separately. They did release a video of them sitting at a bar together having a conversation, and then they did release a video of the two leaving the bar together on the day that she came up missing. They also released the photos, some of the photos of different locations that he was spotted at. Basically
When he torched her car,
when
allegedly.
he torched her car,
Mhm.
allegedly. Yeah. Yeah, we would keep you guys posted on this when the trial starts in December.
And they still haven't found all of her body parts. I believe they're still looking for the head, I believe, right?
That that's correct.
Okay.
And with that being said, let's head into our TikTok videos of the week. It's so delayed. I cannot wait to call AT&T and cuss them out. I swear to God.
They all down there at the RNC. They ain't worried about us
Yeah,
common folk.
everything. Um, let's get into this first video right here. And when I saw this video, I just knew that there was a lot of black people watching the whole Donald Trump thing on TV, and this is what was going through their mind.
When we heard that Trump got shot.
Please don't let him be black. Please don't let him be black. Please, Lord, do not let this be a black person. Please, not this time, Lord, not a black person. Please don't let him be black. Amen.
And it wasn't.
Right.
Wasn't black, wasn't a Democrat. It wasn't.
It's beside we hear about like a crime or something on the news, and then you just like, please don't let them be black. All right, let's get ready to head into our next clip.
Donald Trump just got shot in the ear, and now we're screwed because he's gonna be like, I just got shot with a bullet. It was the biggest bullet anybody's ever seen. Nobody's ever seen a bullet bigger than mine. It was bigger than JFK's, bigger than Lincoln's. It was definitely bigger than Ronald Reagan's teeny tiny bullet. I got shot in the ear. Look how badass I am. Look at me. Vote for me because I survived. Nothing can kill me. Nothing can stop me. You won't. And I'm amazing. Look at me, my huge bullet. Look at my missing ear. Whoa.
Oh, y'all gotta be stopped. Why can't y'all take them seriously, man? Y'all gotta be stopped.
Wait, because the crazy part about it is I wish I would have got the picture. Why was 50 Cent performing on stage and he photoshopped
with his album cover and behind him with Donald Trump's face on it? Yes, I saw it. Yes, I did. We all know 50 Cent's a troll, and he's one of the best trolls that we got out here.
Was right
He's like, how did
after
I get pulled into it?
Right after the shooting happened, I was like, down. What I was like, oh, I can't wait for the memes and the stuff to start. Like, I couldn't wait for the videos to start happening of this. Like, I just
honey, it only took about an hour, not even.
Man, I swear, I said the internet does not disappoint. I swear to God, it doesn't. Oh, I did have some more.
Internet's undefeated.
I did have some more clips about Donald Trump. We're gonna play those on the next episode. What else do we got here? So this was a video that I was telling Tina about that I had saw a little Tyler at Target that I came across online. He was dressed up like a Target employee, walking around the store with the little mic with the walkie-talkie on his hip.
Whew, I'm so ready to go home. I'm gonna go ahead and check these aisles, make sure the ball's where it need to be. People don't be watching their kids. Whew, I've been here all day. Feet hurt, ain't walking straight. So I'm ready to get out this place. Is somebody bouncing? They're bouncing the ball? Who bounce? Excuse me, sir. I need. Slow down now. I need that ball back. We're about to close. We're about to close. Slow down. He about to make me chase him. Where is Janice at? She supposed to be on the ball aisle anyways. Excuse me, sir. Sir, I'm gonna need you to put that ball back where. Thank you. That is not where that ball go. I'm so ready to go. Jan, go put this ball back where it needs to be. Thank you, sir. Have a nice night. I'm about ready to go. I'm about ready to go home.
Why is there always a Janice?
You said why is always a what?
A Janice somewhere.
Oh, it is always a Janice.
It's always a Janice.
He's like, shut up, Janice. Oh, okay. Here we go to the. I don't know which one I want to do. So, because one of them I have to wait to the next episode because I don't know. We're gonna see. I'm just gonna play this one and we're gonna see.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You see this? I don't know. Oh wow. Oh wow, let's start the fight. Shut. Y'all, there are people filming left and right. Oh my god. Oh, he's nervous. What the heck is happening? Jeez. He said leave him alone, it's just a turtle. Oh my gosh. There are people filming this video. Stop it. Oh my god. Ah! Shut up. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. Oh my gosh, they're flipping that turtle.
These people are so abusive on this.
Just let him go. Can you believe this?
No, it's crazy. I'm working out at the road. It's like, what's going on?
Does this happen around here a lot?
Yeah, there's a lot of turtle problems.
Yep, help the turtle to the side of the road. You guys are good Samaritans.
Thank you for helping the turtle.
That couldn't have been here in our city. It would have got ran over. It would have got ran over.
He would have.
Or it would have been put in
Backing up the car, it was looking at this man like a real turtle. I would.
He did. Turtle. He
I'm
absolutely
going to
did.
post it on the podcast page for y'all. So y'all go back and watch the video, listeners. Oh my god. Oh my god. I was at work and I saw that. I said, I gotta play this on the show. And I'm like, he's just a turtle. Leave him alone.
Are you crazy?
And when he got flipped over on his shell, he was just like,
Help me. Help me. Help me.
and they flipped him
Yes.
over.
He
And then
was.
they said,
Poor
is this
Pearl.
normal around? Is this normal around here? Like, oh yeah, we have a serious turtle problem. Like, so this ain't the first time he's done this.
No, it's not.
Okay. Okay, the next video is a Brit driving in America for the first time. Here we go.
Yeah, we are. We're in the USA for the first time and I have to drive the car. The driver's side is on the other side of the car and I am petrified, as is Sadie, because obviously we've never done this before, so wish us luck. I fucking did it again.
Come on, girl, pull it together.
Seriously, where's the gas stick? How shall I get out of here then, do you reckon? It's right side, right side, right side, right side, right side. They're probably like, hurry the F up. You. I've done it again. Drive. Right. Or look at this. What? The speed.
What does it say? Where
Of
is
the
it?
people that are like driving.
Oh.
Holy fucking shit, Sadie. We're going for it.
Right. Yeah, we are. Is this weird?
10 and 2, 10 and 2. We're on the right.
On the right. Alright, at the next set of light. Not these ones, but the
I don't know what the speed limit is. 45. Okay, shit.
45
Where's
miles.
the miles? Oh, don't you tell me this is a ride on red.
Red. All of this, yeah, really do.
Is this one lane or 2 lanes? Merge. I don't need to indicate, do I? Oh, shit. Fucking like 10,000 check before going into the lane. 70 miles an hour? Yeah. I actually don't think that we're qualified to be doing this. Like, I actually... But then it's saying in 6.1 kilometers. Oh, this is not going to be good. What is it beeping me for?
You're just going on the lines. I think it's just
Oh,
line
am I?
assist. Yeah.
Oh, because I'm not used to...
Yeah.
I'm literally trying to be over there because I'm used to being over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do everything in metrics and drive on the opposite side of the car and the opposite side of the road.
She kept doing this to her left to try to shift it into gear on the we let down.
Yeah, and they have manual transmissions over there. Yeah, Mm-hmm.
And for the people who don't know, in the UK, it's illegal to make a right on red there because their right turn basically they can't. Well, for them, they make a left on red, but you can't do it. You can't turn on a red light in the UK, so that's why she was like so freaked out about having to make a right on the red.
Bless her heart.
Oh,
Welcome to the United States.
Here are 5 cars that.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna get back. Okay, so this next video, something similar to me to this video happened to me as a kid. Not exactly in this way, but kind of in this way. I'm gonna play the video for y'all.
Yes.
He made you come home.
Did y'all see those crackheads in there? Literally, they had bruises.
Needle marks. 16-year-olds.
Oh my gosh, we
forgot one. I told her. She went to the bathroom and forgot.
He was flying, wasn't he? That kind of happened to me. My dad forgot me a Blockbuster video when those existed. That's how long ago that was.
Tina, did you forget one of your kids at the store before?
I have never forgotten one of my kids at the store, but I have been forgotten, and it's sad because I'm the only child.
Right? Because I remember I was younger, it was me, my dad, my little brother, and his girlfriend at the time. We all went to the grocery store. We went to Aldi. Or the Aldi's. I don't know, whatever it's pronounced. So we get the grocery shopping, we load the groceries into the car. You know, you gotta stick a quarter in there to get the cart back, to get the cart. So I went to go take the cart back to go get the quarter. I turn around and start walking back, and I realized like he's already leaving out the parking lot, about to drive down the street. So I'm like, what's going on? So he turned onto the road and started driving. So I'm running towards the car like, what? He left me at the store.
He thought he was in the car. He was sick of y'all. He was sick of y'all. He was sick of y'all.
It was like the 3rd grade. He left me at the store.
He was sick of y'all.
No. Now it is a little bit of a drive before you go, because he went out the back way. So it's a little bit of a drive before you get to the street. Then he turned up to the street, started driving. By the time, I guess he must have finally realized I wasn't in the car, because he parking lot where GameStop and Subway and all that stuff is on East Capitol. That's where he pulled in.
Oh my God. Bless your heart.
Oh God. Oh God. Okay. I got one more video for y'all. Then we're gonna head into final thoughts to be up out of here. So here we go. And this is
Here are 5 cars that only old people drive. I can't wait to post this one on Facebook. First off, we got the classic Grand Marquis Lincoln Town Car. This body style. You can about guarantee that there's going to be an older person driving one of these. Unless it's got 26-inch wheels on it, then it's not an old person. Next up, we got the Toyota Avalon. Meemaw loves the Toyota Avalon because it's reliable. I swear it's only older people driving these Toyota Avalons. All them younger kids got the Camry. Next up, we got the Corvettes. And as a car guy that goes to car meets, yes, it is very, very true. And they tend to dress like this sometimes. But honestly, Corvettes are so cool, so I don't blame them. Next up, we got the Buick Enclave. And them old people love them Buick Enclaves, let's be honest. Or honestly, just Buicks in general. I don't know what it is about Buicks and old people, but it's like candy for them. Alright, lastly, we got the final boss, the Cadillac SRX. An older person sees this and they're like, I need it. I need to look old as possible while driving around. And it's the Cadillac SRX. I don't condone ageism in any way.
So, the Buick was probably my most reliable car. Sir, Big Blue is probably the
Buicks
most
are like
reliable
candy
car.
for old people. I agree. Buicks are candy for old people.
Excuse me, sir. My Buick, I did buy it from an older person, but it's the most reliable car I've ever had. That mug cut on no matter what. Okay? Okay? Now, with the Avalons used to be the shit back in the day. I ain't gonna hold you on that. The Corvettes, I mean, it's a Corvette, right? So I feel them on that. The Cadillacs, I've never driven a Cadillac. I feel like they're for pimps. And the Grand Marquis, though, man, okay. So the thing is with the Grand Marquis, it's engine. If you're not a car person, then you just losing.
It's still for to be honest, like he said, unless it's a Grand Marquis on a
I
26-inch
think he's
rim,
frozen. You were
unless it's
frozen.
if it's a Grand Marquis on 26-inch rims, that's the only time you'll see a young person driving it. Other than that, you see a regular Grand Marquis driving down the street, more likely that person is 60 and over.
But and that's fine. But a Grand Marquis, that's a classic car with a classic engine. Y'all don't. So you young folks don't
They don't make
understand
them
what
no more.
engine.
They
Just
don't
like
make
a
the Mercury brand no more.
ju- just like a Buick, like my LeSabre. You can't tell me nothing about my LeSabre, honey, because that engine, the way it go, and everything under the hood, it will never be redone. Okay,
It's like
because
you
who got
know,
a V6 now that don't buy a car knowingly with a V6? Nobody.
hell, if you buy like a sports car, they don't even put V6s in cars anymore.
And I think Grand Marquis got like V8s.
So yeah, V6s is a thing of the past now. Unless you get like a souped up car, you're not getting no V6. Like hell, I say hell, my engine is a fucking 3-cylinder, and my
Mine is
driving.
a 4. My truck is a 4. My Buick
So,
is a 6.
but they make up for it by turbocharging the engine, whichever the fuck that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. It doesn't work. I don't care.
But with that being said, I guess we're gonna head on into final thoughts as soon as I can find the clip. There we go.
Oh, it's me for final thoughts because he always does this to me. Um, my final thought for today is please educate yourselves on the election. It's coming up in November. Um, when things that happened happened yesterday, um, please gather the facts. Know reliable news sources, etc., right? Um, and then just make the best possible choice for you and your family or the country. Because, I mean, just hearing those people and how they felt and the knee jerk reactions that we got after the attempted assassination attempt on Donald Trump, those were kind of worrying to me. And I think about if you do have teenagers or young adults that are still living in your house, going to college, minding their businesses, like think about what the world would become for them because they're still trying to navigate through life with the help of you as their parents. And quite honestly, if you're not at the top 3%, it's like, what would the rest of the world become? Because if you don't have the people buying your goods or using your services, it's the top 3%, then you're going to go under as well. Okay. And that's my final thought.
What going on, everybody? My final thoughts is I hope that gas don't get too damn high. We still need rent control. Like Tina said, we need to educate ourselves on the upcoming election. We need to make better decisions about who we have in these positions. And get your facts. I was like, so me and Tina was originally gonna do the podcast yesterday, and then for some reason it didn't happen, and it was like God sent us a message like wait till the next day to do it. And the next thing, boom, breaking news: Donald Trump almost get assassinated. So, yeah, make sure you get your facts and stuff first. I still want to know how TMZ be getting videos so damn fast. And that's my final thoughts. So make sure y'all be safe out there. Take care of one another, and stop all the violence and the craziness. And we do not need a civil war. Damn it, people just need to stop being racist. And that's my final.
I agree. Good final thought.
Yay! And with that being said, this has been the Same Kind of Different Day podcast. We're gonna bring this to a close. Make sure y'all check us out on our social media. Oh, hey, Torian. Make sure y'all check us out on our social media pages. I'm trying to get a little better at getting clips and things out there. I've been working on clips this week. So make sure y'all check out social media pages. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Tina Marie should have access to the Instagram page for Same Kind of Different Day podcast.
I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I have access to the Facebook page too, but not the Twitter account.
So, I don't think I gotta make it to Twitter. Oh, I do got one. Okay, I gotta work on. So yeah, so that way she can give y'all some content too. So if it be like some breaking news, and she can talk to it about it with y'all and stuff. Or if it's breaking news when it comes to like healthcare issues, she can go in there and do stuff. So make sure y'all follow that just because she give y'all some updates on what's going on in the world. When it comes
I got you because I'm random as hell, so y'all gotta watch and follow.
Yeah. So make sure y'all do that. And thank y'all for tuning into this episode of Same Cast Different Day podcast. And we're gonna see y'all on the next one. Okay, all right. We're gonna see y'all. Okay, all right. Now, all right. We're gonna see you. All right, okay.